Hey guys, it's Colin coming at you with another video. I'm going to be teaching you guys knots, or like what you do on the sidewall and all the different things you can do. So the first thing I'm going to show you is one of the simplest things. It's an interlock. Usually you'll use these up on top of the head. These first two I'm going to show you use up towards the top of the head up here. So this is an interlock. Really can usually use for just pulling the mesh to the head really tight. So, oh wait, let me tell you what I'm doing. So what you do first is you put the string through the outside of the head. You see right there, outside the head. And then you go through the bottom of the mesh, next hole, the bottom of the mesh, and then you go through the loop, through this loop right here that you created, and you pull tight. So as you see, I went through the head, up through the whole mesh. I can't really. Where is it? I'm going to show you. Which hole is it? Through the whole mesh right here. I went through that, and then I went through this loop that I created here. You see how this string goes under this string right here? That's the loop. That's where the loop was, and that's pull it tight. So that's an interlock. The next thing I'll show you is a knot. Now, a knot is be used up here, but to pull the mesh really tight, and so the mesh will stay there. That's what I usually use up here. Interlocks don't hold. You can pull it tight, but it's much harder than just using a knot. So knot, you start off the same way. Go through the outside, go through the hole in the mesh, the bottom, through the bottom knot. Never go through the top. At least I don't. And then instead of going through this loop with this string, you go around it like that. You pull tight as you can, and that creates a knot. The knot will not move. It'll stay and it'll hold the mesh really tight to the stick. So you see how this? See this right here? That's a knot. That's what a knot will look like, and it won't move, it'll stay. That's what I like about knots. Now the next thing I'll show you is a single interlock, or it can also be called a single, you can do a single knot too. Most people just do a single interlock. Now what a single interlock would be used for is when you're stringing down the head, you're going down the head, and you get to where you're starting to make your pocket, and when you go all the way down, and the channel is too tight, like you know what the channel is, with where the ball can go. If it's too tight, then you might want to change it to a single interlock, which will make it a little bit wider usually. So maybe it won't be illegal, or you won't get too much whip or something like But the way you do a single interlock is first you go through the back of the mesh. You see the back of the mesh. You went through the back of the mesh, and then you just do an interlock. You don't go to the same hole of mesh. You don't do that. You go to the next hole in the mesh, through the back. And as always, you always go through the back until you do the tie off, and then you just go through the loop that you created, like you do in an interlock, and just pull it tight. That's how you do a single interlock. Now the next thing I'm going to show you is a single up. With a single up, you start off the same with a single interlock. You go through you go straight through the back of the mesh, and then go through the hole, through the outside of the head, and then go through this loop. You don't go through any holes in the mesh. You just go straight through the loop. You pull tight. That's a single up. The double up is the same thing, but instead of going through that one hole of mesh, you go through two holes of mesh instead. Now what you want to do with the two holes is that you want to bunch them together so you can make a deep pocket. That's what the doubles and singles and triples are used for. They're used for making pockets. They use them more towards the bottom of the head or in the middle, wherever you want to put your pocket really. That's where you use the triple mostly. You can use a double also. With a double, you want to bunch these strings all up close together. You see right here how they're all bunched together right there? Okay? That's what creates the pocket with them being bunched. And then you do the same thing with single. You go through the hole in the mesh and you go through the loop. Yeah, that's You do the double and then the triple, same thing, but you just go through a third hole of mesh, and you bunch them up together as well. You go through the hole and the outside, and then through the loop. And I'll make sure I bump that up more. Now I'm gonna get all the way down to this tie off here at the bottom. Just give me a second here. Sorry for this. It's gonna take a second. Okay, now I'm at the bottom of the head, and what I'm going to do here is, let's see, do I have, no, I don't have to go through any holes of mesh, which is good. So the way I do my tie-offs is I'm just going to, this is the only time you're going to go through, not the outside of the head, but the inside of the head to do your tie-off. This is the only time you will ever do that. Never do this at any other point when you're stringing. So I'm just going to go through this hole. I'm gonna go, yep, there we go, got the hole. You just pull it tight. Yeah, this one through the inside of the head, and then you do your standard knot and tie it off. What I usually do is I just wrap the string around itself at the bottom, go and you create this loop, and now you make like, let's see, you just make like a loop with the string, and then you go through this little loop you've created with the string, and then you just make sure you hold on the loop at the bottom, pull it tight, and that knot should not slip through that hole. And that's how you do all the knots. You see, I got a pretty nice pocket right there. Let me see if I can show you it. Pretty nice pocket. It's pretty deep. The mesh is a little old, so it doesn't work as well, but those are all the knots. Thanks for watching, and see you guys later. Bye.